fortune! Our technician manifests at last. Halt there. You match the description of the technician we have been vigilantly awaiting, but as they say, assumptions made are mistakes readied. Present yourself, so that I may take the measure of you. Evidently so. Satellites from our magnificent Hyperion reticulum do not tumble so gracelessly down from the skies every day. Some might label me mistrustful, but I wonder at your sudden assignment to this matter. Your tardiness, too, invites questions. It raises doubt you are even who you presume to be. Not ordinarily, no, but we are at war. These are uncommon circumstances, and you have not given me sufficient reason to trust you. There is no mistaking the zeal and ardor in your voice. I will not apologize for my caution, though I will acknowledge I held amounts of it in overabundance. You may avail yourself of the satellite. Matriarch guide you in your work.
People are gonna start to talk. Aren't you reliable? I just need one moment to copy the data. There, all done. Thank you ever so much. Was there anything else you wish to discuss?
Yeah. It seems they've gotten the fountains working again. Feel that fine mist on your face. Do not think about the aerosol contaminants floating in it. In what manner can I assist you? How do you know about that? I mean, that is quite the allegation. I deny it effusively. I've already lost enough enamel to age. Thank you very much. First, answer me this. What is your interest in this matter? As much as I relish the idea of entrusting a stranger with sensitive and potentially incendiary information, I shall have to decline further comment. Perhaps if you were to help me out with recovering those logs I asked for, I could be more amenable to sharing knowledge. But let's put a pin in that for now, shall we? If there's nothing else, I would like to return to my deep breathing exercises.
I look forward to the reclamation of the Hyperion web. Hopefully you shall facilitate that. Now, how might we be of use to one another? Yes! Excellent! Take that, reductionists! Your horrid little surveillance devices shall finally be used for what their purpose should have been! Don't tell anyone about that outburst, please. Here's something to keep you quiet. Not by a factor of thousands. You'll have to tell me about your scholastic experiences someday, colleague. I've informed the presiding bishop you're coming to speak with her. She can be found in the room off the main stairwell. I'm sure I don't need to say this. But if you even think about bringing harm to Ruth, I shall know. Be on your very, very best behavior.
Good to see you again. I had hoped we could speak earlier, but no matter. A little time remains. You are a crucial variable in the solution to a critical problem. Since the unfortunate end of the peace talks, Gertie and I have kept in communication, and we believe it is still possible to get the Order and Auntie's Choice to work together. When you go in to speak with the presiding bishop, please raise the issue with her. I assure you this is the correct thing to do. For yourself, for us, for Arcadia. Farewell. I would say good luck, but I put no stock in chance, only probability. May the plan favor us against long odds.
The Order has always proclaimed patience as a virtue, but I am pleased my waiting is finally at its endpoint. For so long, you have only existed as numerical values on a chart. A bright star in a constellation of possibilities, as it were. Now with your arrival, the Order nears the totality of its goals, provided you are willing to stay aligned with our cause. As I told you in my message, a splinter group was responsible for recruiting your fellow agent and tasking her to perpetrate that heresy. The conviction of those radicals was such that they elected to perish from exposure to Cloister's wilderness to avoid fouling their predictions and my interference. Their interpretation of the data was at odds with mine. I forbade them taking action, to no avail, obviously. I disavowed their actions then, as I do now. Now then, I gather you already know who I am, but science has shown that good manners strengthen developing relationships by 5.3%. So, allow me to introduce myself. I am Ruth Bassar, third presiding bishop of the Order of the Ascendant, supreme calculator, and, plan willing, the architect of Arcadia's prosperous future. I admit, when I sent my initial message, I did not exactly know who its recipient would be. But I trusted the plan, and lo and behold, it provided you as the solution. Your recent exploits at Greater Tranquility Station have certainly made for compelling reading material. Confronting an assassin, and thereby sparing the delegates' lives before the rift inexplicably destroyed the station? Such a commendable effort is worthy of acknowledgement. Yes, by all reports it was. But the plan evidently has greater outcomes prepared for Vicar Levin. He is, at that. I consider him a close personal friend, and I cannot say that about many. However, there's something of even greater import we must discuss. I just received the most curious transmission from Auntie Cleo. She wishes to discuss a partnership of sorts, and I heard you were the source of this plot. I must admit I have significant doubts about colluding with an entity like Auntie's Choice. Why should the Order agree to even entertain the possibility?
Simply put, we got the troops, the firepower, and the know-how to beat the Protectorate. Respectfully, I think we both know that your forces can't do that on their own.
Military support loses its usefulness quickly in times of peace. It is that which gives me pause, among other concerns. Wise enough to recognize the perils, too. But the right course often involves remaining open to new possibilities. Auntie Cleo has already proposed a secure conference room on board the Undisputed Claim for our use. I will await your arrival there to mediate.
think she's very talented. I think she's very, very talented. Oh, never mind. You can have yeah.
of fiber. Soluble, insoluble, and inconsolable. Auntie's Choice Sweet Dreams. Finally. Tastes good too.
We took what nature heedlessly assembled and thusly rebettered it through artificial means and Look who it is, the instigator of this little affair. Her mathematicalness should be along soon, unless the leader of the Order's too busy crunching numbers to attend to business. There we are. Apologies for the delay. We were resolving some technical issues. Cloister's atmosphere has a tendency to... Oh, yes. Regale us with a thorough account of Cloister's atmosphere. Spare no detail. This must be Auntie Cleo's trademark wit. I expected better. If I was discourteous, I apologize. So long as our mediator proves up to the task, surely we can remain civil. If not, these negotiations may prove short indeed. I suppose you've passed muster. Certainly not averse to getting your hands dirty. But the give and take of deal-making is another matter entirely. From where where I'm positioned, I sense 3 sore points still in need of massage. Point 1, control of the archive. Point 2, oversight of production and distribution of skip cores. And point 3, management of Rift technology.
Before we go any further, I want it in writing that the Order will take full control of the archive without interference from Auntie's choice.
What? So the Order can set it fruitlessly idling for another few centuries? We would put it to far more practical use. Imagine the marketing strategies it could develop.
I would sever my own hand before giving custody of the archive over to a corporation. Humanity's ascension depends on its calculations. No, such a condition is out of the question.
I am amenable to that proposition. Less work on our part.
I'm waiting to hear an argument that would support such a ludicrous proposal. That is a compelling vision of the future. One I could perhaps support. Involving money in science seems questionable. But having access to Auntie's resources would be useful for our research. Fine. Yes, I agree. Reluctantly.
Ruth, I commend you for being so receptive. And I assure you that Auntie's choice values science. Nothing bad has ever happened when science and commerce are combined.
On the subject of science, it would be most prudent for us to discuss who will be overseeing the management of skip drives, specifically the production of skip cores.
No one understands production like we do. Besides which, we have far more experience using skip drives. It was how we came to Arcadia, after all.
Where Auntie's choice manages, the Order would undoubtedly excel. Do not exclude us from consideration merely for lack of experience.
So you ramp up production? And then what? Hand skip drives out for free to whoever wants one? Preposterous! And a waste of a perfectly good monopoly.
We would be diligent about who we licensed out the skip drives to. And a monopoly over space travel is precisely what I wish to avoid. This technology should benefit all humanity. That assumes Auntie's choice would even abide by such a list of restrictions, and which would almost be impossible for the Order to enforce.
Not to worry. We can build a regulatory commission to oversee production and make sure everything is up to Auntie's choice and Order standards. Oh, partiality concerns are a thing of the past. Obviously, regulators would be incentivized to care most about the safety of the consumer. You know, right after production costs.
As would the likelihood that we will eventually improve upon it. We shall allow Auntie's control of the current design. There is still the question of who takes possession of the Protectorate's Rift technology once the war is finished. Although the science is still largely theoretical, this technology could be used to not only close rifts, but create new ones. A dangerous power indeed, left in the wrong hands.
The Order would fritter away valuable time endlessly hand-wringing what to do with the technology. Auntie's choice would actually use it. For good, of course. In a gainful manner. A 50-50 split? But that's so equal. Goodwill rarely converts well into bits, but I suppose I do take your point. If Ruth's open to it, I believe I can agree on the general terms here. And, well, we can haggle over minor quibbling details like percentages later.
I shall look forward to brokering the math with you, Cleo. There is one final matter I wish to discuss. I require some chemicals that I have been told are manufactured at a plant on Praetor, controlled by Auntie's choice.
I know which plant you're referring to, Ruth, and what comes out of it is hardly safe for general use. Out of professional curiosity, what could you possibly need with such dangerous compounds? Running a little experiment, are we? On what? Or whom?
That is, quite frankly, none of your concern.
Precisely. Partners don't withhold secrets, although they can and probably should withhold extremely dangerous chemicals if not properly notified of what they will be used for.
I will make no progress with my request without further explanation, will I? While the archive is an infinitely complex machine, an equally complex apparatus has been designed which allows one to interact with it directly. Brain-to-logic assembly, as it were. Unfortunately, this headgear exacts a rather tremendous cost on the wearer. A certain panacea is needed to survive it, but I require these chemicals to finish it.
Certainly. I'll even extend our corporate partner's micro discount to Ruth as a show of good faith. Best I'll say is today's outcome is workable. Barely. Our gains were not as exclusive as I had hoped they'd be.
Arriving at any arrangement even remotely equitable was statistically improbable. Be glad our mediator managed to find a middle path forward. As am I. You certainly have a way of curving probability into your favor.
Well, that'll be all for today. Don't forget to purchase the latest in Auntie's Choice products out on the value-added Esplanade, or enjoy a refreshing cocktail at the Best Choice. And do come see me personally when you have time. I have just the thing in mind for an accomplished freelancer such as yourself.
One moment. There are still the logistics of recapturing the archive to consider.
We'll, of course, provide our expert troops to support these efforts. Have your people call my people to sort details. Toodaloo!
Brusque as ever. Auntie's troopers will certainly help us manage the Protectorate forces easier, especially if supported by your help. But it would be irrational to expect you to endanger your own life without a more specific strategy in place. Fortunately, I have already given this some thought. First, Order forces must move into our former headquarters at Spyreton. A simpler task now that you have liberated it. By all accounts, you thoroughly routed the enemy. Well done. More importantly, there is a lift located in Spyreton which can deliver our troops into the archive to assist you against the Protectorate. Unlocking and calling that lift can only be done from within the archive, however. So you will need to infiltrate the archive by alternate means, via a bridge connected to Newton. Fortunately, I am told you already dealt with the cultists there. Unfortunately, you will still need to find a way past a small rift currently blocking the bridge. Ordinarily, I do not fancy surprises, but you are proving an exception to that rule. With such a device in hand, bypassing the rift should be as rudimentary as pie. And perhaps at some later date, you will also permit our scientists to analyze this gadget at length in one of our labs, provided all goes according to plan. There is a computronical key that you will also need to locate within the archive called the Calcaduceus. The Calcaduceus grants special access to the archive. Once it is back in Order hands, we will have full control over its systems once more. Until the Order has control over the archive again, this discussion is all but moot. You know what must be done. May you achieve progress in accordance with the plan.
That was some damn fine intermediation, Commander. You might just have a future in finance. You know, after Auntie and the Order trounce the Protectorate.
Good luck, my ameliorator. Remember, you can't spell heinous ascetic without Auntie's choice.
Forfeit by middle time. It would be an embarrassment of body goals. Imagine the ad windfall. Our athletic assets would achieve full
Self-propelled cannons? I have whatever
billboards. Of course, I also enjoy the simple pleasure of watching professional athletes bludgeon each other. Relatable interest. See, subordinates, I'm just like you. Until next time, look for me in the Platinum Executive Skybox above the line of scrummage. Limber up for a motive. Just because your Auntie Cleo reached the top of the corporate ladder doesn't mean she can't resonate some bottom-rung relatability. Business is much like tossball, a game of inches and football.
We've successfully co-opted yet another of our rivals. Can't believe those eggheads accepted the deal. What's next on my agenda?
That outside contractor is here. You requested a brief tete-a-tete.
Ah, there you are. Our fresh-faced new go-getter. We meet in the flesh at last. You've proved quite useful. Keep it up. You'll be going places. You don't seem much put off by my appearance. Good. I have no stomach for those with no stomach regarding me having no stomach. It is, however, something of a brand secret reserved for only the most trusted confidants. And covered in detail buried within the confidentiality clause you agreed to on arrival. I trust this presents no concerns for you, yes?
Well, ain't meaning no disrespect. It's just everyone was saying that you were focused on a product launch or avoiding assassination attempts. That's why you weren't seen in public.
Poor dear, believing that erroneous drivel. You do know I have a reputation to maintain. I can't let every rung leech know my condition and open the door for plotting. I ask again, do you have any problems with the previously mentioned stipulations? Fortunately, when you're the head of an advanced medical technology corporation, you become first in line for any experimental life-preserving procedures. As far as what happened, I was the victim of an unfortunate industrial accident shortly after we arrived here, the details of which are less salient than the details of what comes next.
not exactly. Well, exactly. But not in the way you think. We have a mission for you that is vital to Auntie's Choice's survival.
We've uncovered an opportunity to procure me a new, audaciously improved replacement body. There was a past proposal to utilize graphs, but once I saw what happened to those misfortunates in the experiment, like your hanger-on here, the idea was promptly abandoned.
Wait, are you saying that the grafting program was only started up to help you with your condition? And was shuttered because it couldn't?
Yes, keep up, dear. You think we would have invested money in such a risky procedure for gains on the battlefield? Well, that's what bombs are for.
That means your scientists lied to us, and our suffering didn't mean anything at all. Is that right? Me and mine were just lab sprats to you this whole time?
This is what you signed up for. Tell me, did you also believe that we came here to solely liberate Arcadia and not for its resources? Oh, you did. How sad. The body I want isn't just some simple yet stylistically sutured together amalgamation of corpses to bolt my head atop.
Not, this time, at any rate.
No, to find me the perfect body, you'll be assailing an inappreciably populated automated automech factory over on Prater. Not just any automechanical, something much, much more exciting. That facility was designed to build complex automechs, a natural choice when the Protectorate began experimenting with a proxy body for the original Sovereign. It was the last in a long line of his ill-fated life extension experiments. Work halted when he died, and the torso prosthesis they developed has been locked in the lab ever since. Make it mine.
There's a sub-facility beneath the automech factory. Its entrance, being hidden, is easy to miss. But we can show you how to find it.
Well then, fetch me my new body and we can finally begin bringing this system to heel.
Of legend.
company.
Can't got me that easy.
And good.
Always remember, commercialism is the foundation that Auntie's Choice Society is based upon. Not because we worship bits, but because of the
Soon I'll be able to... You're back! Finally! Finally! Do you have it? Did you bring it here? Splendid. Splendid! We'll ensure your reward matches the ample amount of faith I've placed in you. Nay, exceeds it. No additional hidden clauses. Honest. Oh, let me see it. Yes, indeed. Oh, let me look at you, gorgeous. If you'll all just excuse me a moment as I slip into something more formidable.
There you are. Congratulations. Now your body's almost as intimidating as your mind. You've narrowed the gap quite a bit.
Oh, Auntie, you look amazing. Absolutely everyone will want a new mech body after watching you strut the walk.
What about you? What do you think? Any first impressions you'd like to share? The perfect understated threat to drive all my negotiations to their proper conclusion. What's more, it's an undeniable confirmation that the Archive-derived strategic plan can be reliably executed and produces incredible results. With their predictive abilities refining our planning and execution, our market dominance is a foregone conclusion. Yes, so much to do, and we have you to thank for making it happen. I am quite looking forward to you working for me further.
Least bankable toss ball team against. Imagine the
Wait! Do not shoot! It's not one of ours. Or Auntie's. Watch yourself! Hello again. What can I help you with? In earnest? That is the most wondrous and least expected turn of events the equation could produce. That means we should soon be leaving this nightmare behind us. Thank you, stranger. You've saved many lives this day.